Hey, everybody, let's talk for a second about racism. I don't like racism. I hope you don't like it either. And I'm sure a lot of you would probably agree. Sometimes racism inspires people to do terrible things. Now, the media loves a news story about racism, but only when it's the right kind of racism. Case in point, right now there's a news story out of Las Vegas involving a teenager named Jonathan Lewis, a 17-year-old young man who was beaten to death by people of a different racial background. This is a really disgusting news story. Jonathan was trying to defend a smaller kid who had been robbed and shoved inside of a garbage can. And Jonathan stepped in. He got beaten to death by the angry mob. There's a video of this incident. It's hard to look at. It's part of the reason why I didn't post it on social media. But a lot of you have seen it, and you probably noticed something about Jonathan. Jonathan's a white kid, and the angry people that were beating him to death were black people. Now, this isn't to suggest that all black people are racist or all black people are violent, but this group of black teenagers certainly was. Now, considering the fact that this appears to be a racially motivated attack, it looks very bad. You would think the media would want to talk about it, but again, wrong kind of racism. The FBI and the DOJ, meanwhile, are refusing to call the Covenant school shooting an anti-white hate crime. Now, this is at the opposite end of the country. You guys remember the Nashville Christian school where a trans activist walked into a school and murdered a bunch of children. This happened back in March of 2023. Earlier this year, a woman masquerading as a man shot and killed 3 children and 3 adults at a Christian grade school before local police took her out. She wrote a manifesto. The manifesto was leaked online, and now it was revealed that it all appears to have been racially motivated. Now, obviously, the trans ideology played a role in this, but as you read what took place here, the telltale signs of a hate crime, the identity-obsessed ruling class passed on consoling the Christians, mourning the slaughter, to stand in solidarity with trans-identifying Americans, as Jordan Boyd put it over at The Federalist. And that's exactly what happened. In her death day notebook, she claims she planned to murder Covenant school children because she hated their white skin, their privilege, as she put it. Now, where did she learn to talk like that? Where would a young woman learn to hate somebody for having white privilege? Well, other than MSNBC and CNN and The Atlantic and The Guardian, I would imagine you would learn to talk like that just simply by listening to Democrat Party leaders all over the country. There's something very bizarre happening in America right now. I mean, you could argue it's probably been happening for the last 10 or 20 years, where it's cool to hate white people. And if you don't believe me, type the words "White Lives Matter" into a search engine. For me, it just popped up an article in the Anti-Defamation League's website that describes the phrase "white lives matter" as a white supremacist phrase. White supremacist. Weird, right? I'm sorry if white supremacists said that, but white lives do matter and black lives matter. I would hope that all lives matter. But strangely enough, in 2023, even that phrase has become offensive to people on the left. If all racism is bad, why isn't all racism bad to the left? It's a good question to ask. I'm Kenny Webster. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, like it, follow me. You know how social media works. Have a good day, everybody.